I have a very special guest sitting next to me. Next to me is Brandon Mesén from Mesén Around.
Hey, sir. How you doing?
How's it going?
It's going good.
Brandon is here live in studio. We're going to interview him, a couple questions, and he's going to perform new unheard music.
Yes.
Before that. So it's unreleased music that can't be found on SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Music. So the music you hear from Brandon Mesén tonight will be the first time anyone hears it ever. So it's very exciting, and we're going to get right into things. So Brandon, why don't you give us a little background, where you're from and everything like that.
My name is Brandon Mesén. I'm in the band called Mesén Around. Basically started music when I was about 6 years old. My family got me a drum set, a little drum kit.
Yeah.
And so basically I started my music history with just keeping the rhythm down.
Yeah.
And I think that has just become a big part of my life nowadays.
So you're originally a drummer?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So you said you're from Westchester, PA?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Awesome. What was life like growing up in Westchester, PA? I'm not from that area.
Honestly, it was a little lonely just because there's not so many things going on in Westchester. But honestly, I kind of like that style when just quietness, and I like to be at peace. I don't like loud places and sirens going everywhere. I don't like that. So
New York City is definitely not the spot.
I hear New York City everywhere I go. I can't do it.
Okay.
Not my style.
So what? You said you started off with the drums. When was that transition into guitar?
So I started off on the drums, and I guess I would say about like 5 years later, I finally just picked up an instrument. Because I wasn't really serious about the drums. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna bang on it and hopefully someone likes it. I picked up the ukulele at age around 15, and that was just absolutely amazing. That's where I created songwriting.
Okay.
So it started with ukulele, and then I just wanted to learn more, and because everyone out there I knew just played guitar. And I always wanted to be like them, And so one day, I was like, you know what? I need to do it, because my uncle played guitar, and my older brother played guitar, and so I was the only one that didn't play guitar. So I just, I have to pick it up. I have to do it, and I did it, and here we are, at the radio station.
All of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
Now, in high school, you mentioned you picked up the ukulele. Did you pick up guitar in high school, or was that after high school?
Yes, I picked up guitar in high school.
Did you play for the band at all or anything like that?
I didn't play for a band. I actually played on a talent show that everyone watched. So the whole auditorium was filled with people, and that was probably one of my biggest shows yet. And that was just a really thrilling moment in my life.
That's really cool. Awesome. Yeah, so I think we got a solid background of you so far. Do you want to play us a song so far? What's going to be the first unreleased song to be performed?
The first one is going to be called Star Killer, ladies and gentlemen. Star Killer.
So take it away.
Hello to the sky while we fly. Oh, waking fresh out blue, wear my shoe. Feels so good to be yours and you to be mine. Oh, baby, you look fine every time. with my mind. She's a star killer, killer. Don't you mess with my mind. Baby, I love you all my life. I'll do anything to sacrifice. Just give me time, we could run away. Oh. Got the wisdom inside the trees. You can save them from the birds and the bees. Just give me time, we could float away. Oh. She's a star killer, killer. Don't you mess with my mind. She's a star killer, killer. Don't you mess with my mind.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, that was Star Killer by Brandon Mesén. Wow, that was incredible. So, what went into the making of this song? How did this song come about? Any inspirations or just the process itself of?
Well, since this is FM radio, I can't say the real story.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what Star Killer is about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the true story about Star Killer, for me, was when I had these girls that I really loved. And they kind of, when you love them and they love you, or you think they love you, and they kind of want to use you for things, they kind of want to bring you down. They see that you're doing really good in life. They see that you have a huge heart. You're so much full of love. And those toxic people out there just want to bring you down, whether it's a girl or a guy. Star Killer, they want to stop you from being a star.
You gotta avoid those toxic people at all costs. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great inspiration. And so, what was the process of writing out the music for this song?
It came out as it is right now. I didn't even write it. I didn't write it out. I didn't even write the chords out. One day in my basement, I just came up with this cool little rhythm section. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And the same lyrics are the same lyrics today. I didn't change anything up. It's the same thing. Yeah. I didn't write it down. I just remember it. You know what I'm saying?
That's really cool. Yeah. So as for the chords, when you came up with the chords, did you write those down to remember?
No. All these songs are just in my soul now. I don't have these lyrics. I don't have a sheet saying this is this song. I just remember it with my heart, and I'm just doing it with my soul.
That's really cool. So when it comes studio time to record all these songs, these are pretty quick studio sessions, I'm assuming?
Well, for this album that I've been recording it for about a year now. It's called Feels Good to Be a Weird Kid, and it is coming out sometime in the summer, and I'm so excited for that to drop. And it's been such a long time recording. Yeah. Especially with these songs, because they were kind of in the studio working. Like, I had some songs that I already had, like, okay, let's record it. Most of the songs on the album were actually recorded in the studio, so it gives it that natural feeling, and not just like oh, this guy already playing this beforehand.
I was gonna get to that. Do you vault songs at all? Do you maybe like record a song and say this doesn't really fit this album or this project in particular, but I'll vault this and maybe use it for a different album? Or do you, when you start recording an album, do you just go clean sheet, clean slate, and just go song by song? This is gonna be on the album. You start recording, maybe like I'm not feeling this song, and you throw it away and start over from scratch. Anything like that? Can you speak to that at all?
My goal is just to write a song a day.
Okay.
And sometimes, just like with everything, the songs don't turn out the way they should turn out. You know, sometimes you get horrible songs. You know, you can write a horrible song. It's like, I'm gonna trash that. Sometimes you get those medium songs where like I could still keep that, I could put that on another album, and then there's those songs that just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's gonna go on the album.
Okay. Awesome. So going back to these pre-listed questions I have.
All right.
So who really? So you mentioned your brother and your uncle before, and you would say those are the driving forces as to why you became a musician, or was there a particular moment or anything of that nature why you started playing guitar?
So I saw this one band in I believe it was in Downingtown, and they are called Leroy Justice. I don't know if they're still around right now. Jason Gallagher is the main singer, and I saw him on stage, and I was like, wow, if he can do this, and if he can coordinate this music and have a band behind him, why can I do it?
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of inspired me just to write more music and to play live.
Okay. So would that be your main source of musical inspiration, or do you look elsewhere for inspiration, or do you not really pay attention to any other alternative music so you could just have like your own sound?
I don't pay attention to any music that's going out there. I don't know what music's playing on the radio. I don't listen to that music. I've just been strictly only listening to my music. I fell in love with myself, and I fell in love with my music to the point where I believe in myself, I believe in my music, and I'm not, it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks, because I believe in myself, I believe in my work, and I think everyone out there in the world, if you truly want something, you really need to just believe in it, believe in yourself, have faith, and signs are going to show, and the doors will open.
So, you believe in yourself, but like no other outside music at all, not even to listen?
I mean, I guess nowadays music, I don't listen to any of this newer music. I listen to music from like the 30s to like the 70s.
Wow, okay. So who from that period do you listen to a lot?
Burt Campart, he's an old jazz composer. I fell in love with the Beatles probably like 2 years ago. And I've just been studying them just because they have such a huge reputation of just like, all these fans going wild and all these outlets and music outlets. And I started studying exactly like what they are doing. I started studying Mr. Brian Epstein just to, how did he manage these people? It's because he believed in these guys.
Megastars.
Yes. Yeah. It's because he believed in these megastars.
Yeah.
If he didn't believe in them, they would be like any other band getting denied.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually did get denied every single label except one. And that had to be the greatest one.
So, I mean, your music is a lot different based on this song and listening to your music before you got here. So, how are you inspired by the Beatles just from like a personality standpoint, or is there any inspiration in the music as well, or do you get that inspiration from other artists you mentioned from like the 30s to 70s that you mentioned?
Yes, I get inspiration from all the music that I listen to, like the 30s, just all these 30s music, like all these old jazz. I just get inspired by all of these old records. I have a vinyl player, so I have all these old records, and I just listen to them like every single night. And to the point where it engraves in my brain, so like when the next day I write something and I'm like, oh, that's like the exact kind of tune that I heard the night before. So I'm always getting inspired by people. I'm always getting inspired by music. But in the end, it's like I'm being inspired by myself. That's the true foundation, is people need to be inspired by themselves. You know, if you're not inspired, then you're not going to inspire.
Where did you find that self-inspiration? Because it could be, it's hard to find that kind of drive for certain passions, you know, people have. So where did you find that? When did you find that? How did you find that?
Too many star killers have been a curse and a blessing for me. Because yes, you can get heartbreak and oh my gosh, you're down the hole. But in the end of that, you can write this beautiful, beautiful music.
Okay.
And so I guess it's like a blessing and a curse for songwriters out there. I just, you know, I guess it stems from just those relationships. It also stems from like dreams that I can have. And I'll like wake up in the morning and be like, I'll have this tune in my dream, and I'll wake up and then just immediately start writing that tune that I had in the dream. Okay. So I get inspired by anything. If I see a sign on the road, like, wow, that's cool. Or if someone says something in the subway, it's like, wow, okay, I'm gonna like keep that in mind.
Okay. Who would you say, you know, because would you say like people like in your inner circle, would you say they inspire you?
Yes, I truly believe for everyone, whoever you're hanging out with is basically who you are. It's like if you're hanging out with 10 musicians, you're probably a musician.
Yeah.
Or if you hang around lowlifes, you're probably a lowlife.
Who would you say in like that inner circle? Doesn't necessarily, it could be family, it could be friends, both. Who would you say is like are your biggest supporters? They got you no matter what. If you put out a good song, a bad song, they're gonna lift you and give you that inspiration for
if
the
I
next
was
song.
to name one person, is that what you're saying?
It could be one, it could be multiple people, anything.
Let's see. There's just so many people, like to the point where it's like my mom. She really, I just want her to see me succeed, and I'm just like pushing as much as I can. I'm just doing anything I can. I just want my family to be proud. I want them to be happy. So they inspire me a lot. My close friends, Mike Rogers, he really has helped me through this whole entire music journey. He's helped me through Summer of Love, and he has helped me through all these star killers that have brought me down. So, you know, he's always been there. Miss Lily Flower, she's always there. My brothers, you know, they're always there. I'll say the family is just what's most important in someone's life.
Right, absolutely. We could take a little question break for now. Are you ready for the next song?
I'm ready if you're ready, sir.
I'm absolutely 100% ready. I hope the people on your Instagram Live are ready. I hope the people listening are ready.
It's not the way that you are. It's the way that I love you. It's not the way that you feel. just to find myself away. How does everything just change? But you remain, and that's all I need. Like two birds at sea, you're all I need. But you don't believe.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Brandon Mesén, and that song was called
All I Need.
All I Need. Well, that was incredible, and can we get a little background on that song?
So basically, it comes down to love is all you need, and it's crazy how some people in relationships can really be blinded by the person that they love. I believe everyone out there, all they really do need in life is true love, and that's this song. I'm basically just writing this song about myself. That's like all I need. Like that's all I need is just like this truth and this true love, and it's about this other person that doesn't believe in this true love and doesn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they don't believe it, and it's a shame. It's a shame for them because I think if you're lost or if you're lost out there, all you really need is just like not just love for someone else, but like all you need is love. Like you need to love yourself before you can love someone else.
Yeah.
And you need to believe in yourself before you can even like believe in anyone else. So it's just a message to me to remind myself that I need to love myself.
Yeah, Justin Bieber, you gotta love yourself and everything like that, you know what I mean? So, let's move forward. So we talked about music inspirations, how you got started and everything like that. I want to get into songwriting. So, is it just you in this band? Is there other people around you? Is it just a guitar?
I wrote all these songs, and so when it comes down to going to a studio, I could go with this two ways. I could go to a studio just myself, I could record all the instruments myself and do all that. But I kind of want to get other people involved in the project so it can, so it can just spread and so they can say they're a part of it just like me. So with this album, I already wrote all these songs and I just, was thinking like I have really good connections. I have amazing musicians that I love dearly. And we've already been playing live shows together, so why not record together?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we did with this album, and it's beautiful to see that everyone came together, and it's cool how we all basically composed all these songs together.
Does anyone contribute to writing a song?
Like actually writing a song?
That and composing as well.
Yes, Mr. Nick Fagnilli, he's a great composer, keyboard player. He's been composing lots of music in his life. So his flair is in this album. Henry Quinn, he's on the bass on this album. Troy Macy's on the production. And Eric Fulmar, he is on the drums.
Okay. Now, and this all happens. You hit him up. Let's go to the studio. I got something.
So the story is, I was already recording these songs at like a professional studio, and then one day, the producer I have now, Troy, we were all there recording these songs with Eric and Henry and everything, and we were just thinking like, do we really need to go to the studio to record this album? Like, can't we just record it at our houses now? Like, because we already recorded all the drums and like the main rhythm section at the studio, so we're like, let's not waste time, let's not waste any time, and let's just do this on our own now. Like, now that we can do this, why don't we just do it on our own? So that's exactly what we did. We did it like in my barn, middle of the night, during a lightning storm. Henry almost wasn't gonna, he wasn't trying to record that night because he didn't want to get electrocuted and the barn wasn't grounded. We recorded it on one of the hottest days in the summer. Troy had a stroke, basically, and so we had to cool him off in the car a little bit. And we recorded this in the dead winter too. So it's seen a lot of seasons. It's seen a lot of emotions, a lot of tears, and a lot of laughs.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you probably saved money on studio time too.
Yes, basically.
Would you say there's a difference between this of sounds, recording in a studio with like padded walls and everything, or recording in a barn? What's the difference of sound, would you say?
I mean, I guess if you were to record in a barn, it kind of gives off that like, okay, do it yourself album. Like, these guys are just having a good time and just recording whatever chance they have. Recording at a studio, that's more like, you have to have a plan before you go into the studio. You're going to waste so much time, which is what I did. I didn't have a plan, and the band members weren't up to par at that point. So if you just do it at your house, it's like, we all can just work together and game plan exactly and brainstorm ideas and like what we want to do here. At a studio, it's a little more pressure for someone, especially if you're getting, if you're paying like hourly, it's a lot of pressure for someone.
What studio did you go to?
It doesn't have a name for this one, but the Summer of Love studio was Craighead Studio in Harrisburg, and that was a beautiful time.
Yeah, it was a good studio, good times there.
Oh yeah, good
treated
people,
you well,
really good people.
Awesome. I want to get into now, labels and stuff like that, because there's always, debate on whether or not artists should sign with a label or stay independent. Now, are you an independent artist as of right now?
Yes, indeed.
Can you go through what it's like being an independent artist first, and then I'll get into label questions in a little bit.
I guess independent, you have 100% credibility to do whatever you want to do. It's you, basically, not someone else telling you what to write about. So it's like you have 100%, you can do whatever it is you want to do. It's just like you're independent. You're the one in charge of your music. And I think if you're signing to a label, you don't have that many rights to your music, because they basically take all your rights.
Okay, and so based on that answer, would it be safe to assume that you wouldn't sign to a label ever, or would you ever consider it and give it thought?
It truly depends. Before I would sign a label, I'd have to read it over, and I would have to know the person, because usually labels out there just want to steal your money and push you in the dirt and never have you be seen by anyone. But I'm not on a label, and I'm on this radio station myself.
Mm-hmm.
I did this. I didn't have a label tell me to go here. I did this because I wanted to.
What if you may not necessarily know the person in charge, but the brand, let's say Sony comes up to you and says, hey, we want to sign you, and you get someone to look over the contract and everything like that. So what something like that would how would your decision go? Who would help you make that decision? How would your decision again be influenced and everything like that?
That's a good question. I would have to just like go to my friends and my business friends and have them read over. I know some lawyers too that could read it over. I think signing a label is a good thing and a bad thing. I think if you're an artist out there that really is like pushing and striving and really wants to like do more with yourself and do more with music, I think signing a label would be a good idea for you if you're willing to do what it takes, and that labels can really push you like never before, and they can put you on tours and stuff. As if I'm an independent artist, it's hard to get myself in that niche of the connections.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, how is it promoting you, your brand, your music as an independent artist? Because being signed to a label, yeah, there are music rights and everything that are in the air and things of that nature. But you and your brand get put out there definitely as when you're signed to a label.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, could you just speak on that? How it is promoting your music as an independent artist and.
I guess as an independent artist, it's not really me promoting. I mean, obviously, the person that's making the music is going to be the promoter, the main promoter. But usually, it's the fans out there in the world that are promoting my music and sharing it. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, truly honored to have all these fans around the world. And I never knew I had all these fans around the world. So it's cool to see all these people sharing, tagging their friends along. It's cool to see all these people like viewing everything and just like staying within the wave and understanding and just knowing who I am is cool.
I mean, I saw your Instagram profile. We followed each other and everything like that, and I saw 15,000 Instagram followers. How did you build it to that point? And is there like a blueprint that you go by for for building up that following?
I wouldn't say blueprint. Like, I think what matters is what's out of Instagram. So the reason why I have 15K on Instagram is because of what I did out of Instagram. Like all the shows I did, all the radio shows I did, all of the house shows I did, all of the connections that I made. That is why I have a following on Instagram. I don't have a following on Instagram because I have a following. It's because in person, that's what truly matters. People are going to sign you in person, not just look at. I mean, they may look at your Instagram and be like, okay, this guy has some numbers and stuff, but what really sells and what's going to sell is you. The music won't sell. The clothing won't sell. You, the character themselves, is the thing that is selling.
Okay. And how do you sell yourself as a person?
The best way, I guess, is just be yourself. So many people out there are trying to be someone else, trying to like mimic someone else, trying not to be themselves, trying to create music that's not even theirs. So the best thing to do is just literally be yourself, because if some manager label sees you and you're just like being fake and phony, they're obviously going to catch that right away. They're going to be like, this guy isn't true to his word. Like, I'm not going to believe this guy. But if you're down to earth and you're actually like true to this, if you're true and honest and just like respectful, that goes a long ways in the music industry.
Awesome. So you've mentioned shows that you've done. Are these shows like a part of like a specific tour run, or you just bounce around? Wherever people will have you play, you'll play? Or?
I've been doing something very different that most people don't do at all. I used to play like shows and book shows myself, and I would play like every weekend. But I come to realize that, okay, I mean, like, it's cool to play shows and everything, but recently I've been doing a tour on radio stations. So I've just been going around radio station to radio stations, been playing my music, been getting this on video, and playing the songs on air, and I feel like, I've just been creating a tour out of radio stations.
Okay. And you'd say you prefer that over like the normal, like going to a show and...
Right now, yes.
Okay.
I really do.
I mean, do you get paid to go to do a show, or?
I mean, yes, it depends on the show. Usually I do get paid. But I'm at the point where it's like, I believe the connection and the network and the exposure costs so much more than like a couple $100 for a night.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, not to get into money, but WUSR isn't paying you, so you really feel that being here and performing live for people that are listening through, our streaming link or live on the air or that on your Instagram live, that it is more beneficial than making a couple $100 at...
Honestly, yes, because with this platform, this is gonna be recorded. It's recording right now. It's gonna be forever. I can release this on Spotify and iTunes. This video can be on YouTube forever.
Yeah.
This whole moment is going to be captured forever. I can go back to this moment forever. For a show, you can't really go back to a show, and the people that were there are the only ones that remembered this show.
Okay.
So you're not really capturing a huge...
You don't remember your shows?
When I'm up there, it's just...
You black out and just...
It's like I'm not even playing. It's like the show's over. As soon as I get on the shows, it seems like the show just ended.
Okay.
So it's like I'm not really there. It's like I'm not really in my head. I'm like somewhere else playing. I'm in the audience.
How many songs generally are on your set list for a show? Do you play like the best ones that have the most plays? Do you play some of your own favorites or fan favorites? What do you do?
Yes, it's a good one. A lot of the times I like to just make up my own music. When it comes to playing live, I know that's not really a smart idea. I know people should probably be professional these days and practice, which I do practice. But sometimes when you practice the same song over and over again, it gets a little boring and you can't really feel that feeling you had anymore. So I like to honestly perform songs that I've written not too long ago.
Okay, so it's not quite a freestyle, but pretty close.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. That's actually really interesting to hear. So each show, you're gonna get something different.
Yes.
Wow. Now, how did you get in? You spoke, to getting into radio tours and everything like that. Who inspired that? Was that something you just thought of out of the blue, or did someone bring that up to you?
I inspired myself about it. No, I don't know anyone that's doing this. I'm the only one that I know that's doing this, and I hope other people can do it also. But I just was thinking one day, man, I could literally just play radio station every weekend, and I could get known that way. And so, I'm just trying it out and seeing how everything is, working.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. We've been talking for about 15 minutes now. Are you ready to play another song?
Yes, I am, sir.
Set list. All right.
If you feel too much, that's all good with us. We got time to love ourselves. Ooh. I remember her. She wanna fall in love. I got off stage to see what was up. Ooh. Fell to the ground. Hugged her legs. Don't mind me, I'm just losing my brain. Ooh. Tell me, pretty baby, if I'm going insane. know how you feel. Cellar doors waiting for us to explain, and all the rest is unreal. This is true love. Baby, I know you love me. This is true love. Baby, baby, if you feel too much, that's all good with us. We got time to love ourselves. Oh, I remember her, and she wanna fall in love. I got off stage to see what was up. Oh,
Awesome stuff from Brandon Mesén from Mesén Around. Did that name? I'm assuming that came, naturally. If you're this inspired for everything else, that name had to be from your own head, or did someone bring that up to you?
yeah, that came from my own head. If you feel too much, and basically all these songs are kind of like messages to me, and if someone else wants to think it's about them, then I'm happy. But the song was basically just a message to me. If you feel too much, if I feel too much, it's all good. Like if I'm too sad, like it's fine. Because everyone out there is going through a lot. Like you're going through a lot. Everyone's going through a lot, and it's really empowering to have those true friends with you, or the person you love. It's a beautiful thing to have you guys unite with each other just so you guys can help each other. And the song is also about hugging a girl's legs. When I was playing at Boxcar, and I got off stage and I hugged this girl's legs. And I don't know why I did that, but I think they were just, it was like in a nice, positive manner, like they were dancing, like smiling, and it was just like a beautiful sight to see. Like, wow, like they're really getting down. So I got off stage and I just hugged their legs, and I finished the song on the ground, and that's basically what it's about.
That's so something as simple as hugging a girl could go a long way in your songs. That's
Yes.
really unique and interesting. Your name though, like Messing Around. Where did that come from? And were there other options? Like was Messing Around like the first one? All right, I got it. I'm going with it. Or did you have like other options that you could have rolled with?
It's funny because my high school history teacher, he called me like Messin, or he called me B Messin. That was his nickname, B Messin. Don't messing around. No messing around. And yeah, we were just trying to find names, and I just remember that I got called like B Messin, and it was just like a joke, like don't be messing around. And so that's basically where it stemmed from.
And there were no other name options. It was just automatically it had to be.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Awesome. So some more questions for you.
Perfect.
It's album time. So
Oh, everyone strap on your shoes, guys. It's album time.
or at least it's time to talk about your previously released albums, the album coming up. So I want to talk about, we've gotten into the recording process of it, going to a studio and everything like that. So you've released 2 albums so far. You've had Summer of Love and the other one that's is slipping my mind for this moment.
It's called Sex in the Sky.
Yes. What one would you say do you like more? Is there a favorite of those two right now?
My very first album is called Adventure Walks, and you know, no one really knows that. I didn't really want to try to promote it.
Okay.
It was just like, I just wanted to like release something, and I just wanted to do it myself and record it myself. So I recorded Adventure Walks, and that had a really good response. Because that was the high school album, and I recorded that album when I got suspended for 10 days.
What'd you get suspended for? Is it air appropriate?
I punched some kid in the face.
I mean, what high school kid isn't getting suspended for something?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, no, that was middle school. Sorry, folks, that was middle school. I punched some kid in the face in middle school, and I got suspended for 10 days. And I was like, that's the perfect time to record Adventure Walks. And so that happened, and then Summer of Love came around the corner, and I had it was such a beautiful time recording that album in Carlisle, Harrisburg. Mr. Ryan France, if you're out there, God bless you. He was the producer. We literally made him go crazy. Me and my really, really good friend Mike Rogers.
Crazy in a good way?
I wouldn't say good way. I just remember one night he didn't talk and he cut the time short and said, didn't really say much that night. We just shut it off. I remember looking up at the booth, and he was just like holding his face together like, oh my God, can we do this? I don't know if we can do this. So we kind of made him lose his mind a little bit, just because we would sleep at the studio, and we would wake him up at like 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
Or like 6 in the morning with a coffee and a burrito ready to go. Come on, Ryan, wake up. Get right to work. Yeah, we pushed him. There was a lot of hard struggles during that album. I was going through a lot in that album, and I had my buddy Mike Rogers to help me out with it, and it was just a brotherhood and a family, and we did lots of things. We stayed up we had endless nights of just staying up very late, longboarding until the sunrise. Lots more.
So you've mentioned Mike Rogers quite a bit. Where did you meet your friend Mike?
So my friend Ashley, she had this little gathering of people.
Okay.
This little gathering of people, and so obviously I went, and I didn't know anyone there. I knew no one there at all. And I come across Mike Rogers and Eric. I'm lacking his last name right now. I always do this when I'm talking about him. I always forget his last name. His name's Eric, though. And if it wasn't for Eric, Summer of Love wouldn't even happened. Because Eric was the connection that got me the studio in Harrisburg.
Okay.
And so it's just something about Eric. We were all jammed out that day, me, Mike, Eric. We're all jammed out, not even knowing who we are, who they are. And I just remember there's something about this guy named Eric. And so after the meeting, like 2 days after, I spent hours trying to find his Facebook.
I'm sure it was tough when you didn't remember his last name.
Yes. It's tricky. And I couldn't find it. I was trying to find it, and then finally hit me up. So I'm like, oh my God, thank gosh. And so he was the connection that got me to record Summer of Love, and he was always the one driving me because I didn't have a car at the time. So it was like a 2-hour drive every single time. He drove me there, drove me back. We started the process of Summer of Love. We had all the songs all ready to go, and we had all the songs ready to go, and then I believe it was at a show at Sprout, and that's when I became closer to Mike Rogers. And I was just talking to him one day about this album that I'm working on. You should come out to the studio with me. And we went out to the studio, and And then history was made after that. We just spent hours and hours, days, weeks, months, years in the studio recording Summer of Love. And then we had a festival called Summer of Love on my property, and it was an all-day thing of music, peace, love, and art. There was like 10 bands, and yeah, we played, and it was a beautiful time.
And now, do you do this Summer of Love festival annually, or was that just a one-time
It was
thing?
just a one-time thing, and maybe we could do a Summer of Love part 2.
Yeah. If you don't mind getting it more into that first festival, what was that like?
It was amazing. I never knew anything of it. I never knew I could do it. I always thought like it would take so long to put on a festival. I thought only like professionals put on festivals. And I was really big into like Woodstock. I was just like, I just loved the fact that this guy put on this festival and all these hippies just came out,
Yeah.
and for a day of peace, love, and music, and like a million showed up, and that really, really inspired me to do the whole festival. And obviously a million people didn't show up, but the ones that did show up, straight family and straight true in love. There were literally 3-year-olds there to like 80-year-olds there. It was beautiful.
Yeah, how many people? How did you go about like promoting that?
It was just networking, and if I knew any bands in general, I'd be like, yo, let's do it. But most of the bands I didn't know, so it was all through Facebook and just like groups, and just, you know, writing a message saying like, who wants to play the festival and stuff. And that basically happened out of nowhere, and I will always remember that day.
Okay, that's really cool. I want to go backtrack to your first album that you said you put out in high school. What was it like writing and producing that first song? Like, what went through your mind? What emotions were you feeling? You know, being maybe not in the studio for that particular song, but just in general, you know, recording that music that you wrote and that you're performing yourself for the first time.
It was a beautiful adventure. I didn't really want to go to a studio. I didn't even know what a studio was at the time. I knew nothing pretty much about music at that time. I just knew how to play a couple chords.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew how to write some cheesy lyrics.
Yeah.
And so I basically just recorded that any chance I could do in my attic, in the back of a car. And it was basically just one take, me and the vocals with the guitar. I didn't do any separate tracking or anything. I didn't do any layers or anything. It was just like a live album, basically.
Okay.
And I wanted to capture that live feeling, whether it was raining outside, whether it was snowing, whether it was in the basement, in an echo chamber. I didn't really mind if it was in the professional studio, because I didn't really find myself professional at that time. I just wanted to write some music. I just wanted to record some music, and I really recommend everyone out there to follow your dreams, whether you're an artist, musician, a gamer, whatever it is. Follow your path. Don't listen to what anyone else has to say unless, I mean, honestly, if it's bad or good, listen to them and grow from it. Because, like, most of the people, I had a lot of haters in high school. I had no friends in high school. I got put into this emotional support class. I had no friends. It was a really hard time for me, because I was looking around. Everyone had their friends. Everyone was in the popular classes. Everyone was in the popular group. And I was just the only one that was just by myself. I was like the awkward kid. I was the weird kid. No one wanted to talk to me. And I think that's where this album now feels good to be Weird Kid, because I'm looking back at that, and it was like, those are probably one of the best times of my life now. You know, not have, like, yeah, I didn't have any friends, I didn't get invited to any parties, but I made true connections with people like me that were also weird, you know, and it was just really cool to connect with with weird kids. You know, I always had, I always love, I always love hanging out with the kids that, you know, people think they're the losers and the nerds. I love nerds. I love hanging out with the people that, you know, don't really get asked to go places. You know, I vibe with them better.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Keep me down, girl, don't take me out. Was it not to say? No way, that's the truth. Can you come on closer now? I never needed somewhere found, and in the moment in the dark, you won't be coming here for long. I'll keep you closer to the sun. I'll keep you closer to the sun. Keep you closer, closer to the sun. I'll keep you closer, closer to the sun. I got no one-way ticket, babe. The only thing from keeping me to stay is your hello sunshine, yeah, yellow sunshine, yeah. Oh, am I the I never needed your something for tomorrow. Why love you? Why do I love you? Yeah. Do I love you? Yeah. Do I love you? Oh my God, this is the greatest time out. Wake up, that I never wanted you to say. Oh, can you waste the day away to the sun? Keep you closer, closer to the sun. I'll keep you closer, closer to the sun. Yeah.
And that was another beautiful song performed by Brandon Mesén from Mesén Around. And again, that was called
High five.
High Five.
Yes, sir.
And how did that get its name?
How did it get its name? Okay, so the true story is I was looking at these old vinyls and I saw the word hi-fi. You know, a lot of old vinyls have like hi-fi I think hi-fi is just like the sound quality, sound production.
Okay.
I don't know, just hi-fi. It sounded pretty cool to me, and that's basically why I titled it hi-fi.
So that inspiration that you talked of before, really coming from anywhere, really shows in that song.
Yes, indeed.
And the lyrics, where the inspiration for the lyrics, is it the same as the song? Like, is that where you got that same inspiration from?
There's a lot going into this song. I think what really sparked me with this song is like my dad. I think the song's about my dad in a way, because there was times where I would see him, and he was always wasting the day away, drinking the day away and stuff, and not really caring about himself, not really caring about things in general, and it seemed like something was like eating at him alive, and this message is like to him, and he's doing a lot better now, which is absolutely amazing, and it's amazing to have a mentor through your life to push you, it's really cool. And he had a drinking problem, and so it was hard to see that, someone you look up to. It was really hard to see, your father as having a drinking problem, and it's hard to talk to someone, when, that's all they can do. And so basically this is a message for him to, keep me closer to the sun. I'll keep you closer to the sun, I'll keep you in my heart. I'm going to keep you in my heart forever, no matter what. No matter what you do, doesn't matter. I'm going to keep you in my heart forever. I see you, you see me, and it's just also a message about people and their friends, and it's sometimes difficult. You can't really change someone. I've spent so much time trying to change someone, and it's truly impossible. They are the ones that truly need to change. You can't change anyone. They need to change themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm hoping that people can relate to this song, because it means a lot to me, and I hope they can relate to it.
So you mentioned this song being about your dad. Have you ever either recorded or just played maybe live music, any songs about your dad before in the past?
No, never.
Oh, wow. So this is really new. This is, in a way, like ripping off a Band-Aid almost.
Yes, it is.
And
this whole album is ripping off a Band-Aid.
Okay.
And just, this is how it is. Rip it off. It's going to heal in time.
How is this, and besides, ripping off that Band-Aid, I guess musically, inspiration-wise, just, I guess, content of this album, how is it different from Summer of Love? How is it different from Sex in the Sky? How is it different from your high school album that you put out?
This album is I've been trying so hard to record what I want to hear, and that's why I had my friends with Summer of Love do it for me. I would tell them, like, I want to sound like this, like da 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 da. No, not like that, like this. And because I wasn't, musically too talented to the point where I could create the music that I want to hear. And so for this album, I'm at the point where I can hear something and I can create it. And so this album is truly personal for me, and it's just very truthful. I didn't want to lie to myself about this album. I didn't want to write about things that don't matter. I wanted to write about things that truly matter in life, and I want to write about things that are a big issue in today's world. There's so many young people going through hard times. So many young people are depressed and are sad, and a lot of these songs are messages for them to just keep going, to keep striving, to to become something.
Okay. So let's make it a little interesting here.
Okay.
So you have your 4 albums, and you have to pick one, and the other 3 won't exist anymore. You have to pick one that stays with you forever.
An album?
Yeah, but the other 3 will not continue to exist.
Well, Feels Good didn't drop yet. So if it was to drop, it would be Feels Good. Well, when it does drop, it would be obviously Feels Good to be Weird Kid, because it's just, that's the whole message I want to portray to everyone. Feels good to be a weird kid. I was such a weird kid. I got left out in high school, in middle school. I had no freaking friends. And, it was really depressing for me not to have any friends, especially at a young age when you don't really know too much and everyone's hanging out with each other. Everyone gets invited to parties and you're just the only one left alone in your house. And, looking back at it, I'm truly grateful that I wasn't invited to parties, because I wouldn't be writing these songs.
At the time, how did you deal with that?
At the time, I wrote adventure walks. Okay. I just, a lot of things that happen to me, I just write about it.
Okay.
If I get hurt, I will write about it and put that person on the spot.
What about in middle school, though? Because you weren't writing music then. How did you deal with it at an early age before music?
That's a good question. That's a really, really good question. I really don't know what my life was before music. I don't even remember being alive before music. I think music was just always in my blood and my nature ever since I was a little kid. I just remember always singing, and I always remember doing things, and I just, I love it.
We got a caller, I believe. Hello? Yeah. Here, Brandon's on the phone right now.
Hello. Hey, what up, Chadwick? Awesome, man. Awesome. Oh, yeah, we're live right now, my man. We're live on air.
So why don't you, Chadwick can ask you the question, and why don't you repeat it live, what he says?
So Chadwick says he just heard the song Hi-Fi and what? Awesome, Chadwick. Thank you so much. I appreciate you listening into the album. And speaking of Chadwick's been doing lots of music videos for me. He's been doing a music video for each song on the album.
Okay.
And so look out for that name, Chadwick. Oh yeah, well, we're talking about it right now on air. You're live on air, my friend. See that last part? So Chadwick's question is, what do you think about the music videos that we've been doing? And my answer is, I love doing work with you. I think it's just a really good idea, getting that content, that visual content for each song, and it gives me inspiration to do more, and I'm excited to do more content with you. Thank you, Chadwick. Awesome, man. Awesome, brother. Well, I'm going to keep on playing more music, and you have a good day.
All right, thank you, Chadwick. Thank you, Chadwick, for calling in.
Talked about it with her, and I'm not the only one. Can't you even see what you're doing to me? I wrote this all about her, and I know who you are. Can't wait to see my love eventually. Please, please, please love me. Please, oh please, can you? I talked about it with her, and I'm not the only one. Can't you even see what you're doing to me? I wrote this all about her, and I know who you are. Can't wait to see my love eventually. Dance with me, I say, dance with me, I say, ride the wave, hey, hey, now tell me what you say. Oh, now tell me so, tell me so.
Another amazing performance live here on the Steisky Hour. Brandon Mesén.
Thank you.
He's taking a drink right now. I mean, his voice needs it. He's been singing his butt off for this hour and 23 minutes so far. Speaking of vocals, did you just naturally pick up like a voice, or did you have like a singing coach? Maybe not so much like a coach, but just someone you practiced with over and over again, or?
Nope, I never took any lessons, no voice lessons. I never thought about lessons. I just was always that loud kid, just shouting and being weird. Or just shouting at the walls and just being weird, you know. I had no one to shout to or to talk to, so I would usually just be talking to the walls half of the time.
Okay, and just from that, just got better and better over time?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell from all the albums that my voice has been changing, and, you know, everything's changing. Trees are changing, weather's changing, everything's changing, people are changing, emotions are changing, feelings, everything is changing, and I'm happy to be changing with the change in the world, and, yeah.
I want to get into a little bit more of your music. So a lot of it is just, you know, you and your buddies that you talked about before. Do you ever consider having like a band featured on a song, on an album, or is it mostly, do you think, no, just me, I'm cool with just me?
I probably wouldn't have a band featured. I would probably have like certain artists that I really dig.
Yeah,
on the songs. Yeah, for my next album, I'm really trying to make it more of a collaborative album. uh, and hopefully, that will drop soon after this album.
Do you? I know you just from going through your music library that you've been featured on someone else's song once before. Do you put yourself out there and in a place to where you can be featured on other people's work, or you just mostly keep to yourself?
I mean, if someone was to come to me and say, "Yo, Brandon, do you want to, be featured on the song?" I would 100% say yes. I don't. If I was to say no, I would lose out on a song, and I don't like to lose on a song. I wanna be featured on as many songs as possible. I feel like I have a lot to say, and I know people have a lot to hear too, and I'm just gonna do my best in life, just to be true to my word, to be a true person, to be real. That's all anyone really needs in life, is just to be truthful. And if it hurts, then so be it. At least you told the truth.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. A couple more things, and when your laptop sleeps for a certain while, you got to retype in your password. So that's that right now. So your next album that you are performing live as we speak, what are some differences and similarities from this album to your previous albums? Some sounds that you wanted to take with you, and some sounds that you're like, okay, we'll keep it in that previous album and create new ones here. It's Dicey Hour.
A lot of the times
Hello?
I think that when I'm writing songs,
Yes.
I don't really know that it's going to be on the album. I just usually, like, with this album,
He's
I
talking
will,
right now. Is there a question I
will write a
ask him
song,
from you, and I'll say this question
and
is from...
once I write that song, at the very end of the song, I will be like, okay, wow, that was a good song. And so I'll kind of
sure,
restart the song, like resume it, but in a different way. And then I will just keep on writing songs that are kind of like similar to the album. I'm just trying to find that feel for the album. Like, the album's almost done. Troy has been killing it. And we took out about 2 songs. There was going to be like 16 on the album, but now it's come down to 13. It's been, we've been narrowing all these songs. Like, what songs fit the album? Is this song good enough for the album? Should we keep this on the album? Should we not keep it on the album? It's a really fun, hard process, because everyone is like, yes, keep that song, and I'm just always like, no, I hate that song. I don't want it to be on the album.
So I see 12 songs on this set list. Is that the number you're gonna end up going with, or are you gonna add more, narrow it down more?
There's gonna be 13 songs on the album for sure.
Okay.
It's come down to 13 songs.
Awesome stuff. So you're gonna hear 12 of the 13 songs. Hopefully, if we can get to mostly all of them. We got about 30 minutes left, so we'll probably hit a couple more. But so you're gonna hear a lot of unreleased music from Brandon Mesén. And as far as the released music, you have your music on Spotify, and Apple Music. How was that process, putting your music on there? How difficult was that process, or is there a streaming streaming service you prefer your music to be on? I
don't know too much about third-party softwares. I use DistroKid because it's like the cheapest thing to put your music on. But like, I would recommend it if you're just trying to put like a bunch of music on there. But if you're like serious and stuff, then maybe go for another one that's like more like professional and legit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it still is professional and legit. It's just, I don't know. I think it's easy and simple, and I'm gonna start just releasing a lot of music after this album. I'm just gonna start releasing a lot of singles, and
Yeah.
just get people hyped up.
Awesome. So what goes into making a single that hopefully gets like airplay versus this song is more geared for an album?
It's a good question. I'm not really a guy that releases singles. I usually just I go for the glory and work straight on the album. I will be hidden for a year or two and just come out with the album. But recently I've been thinking that maybe I should start releasing more singles. I mean, I have so many songs I have written and recorded that no one has ever heard before. So, I mean, I could just, take one of those songs and put it as a single. It's just if I think that's the right move or not, if it's the right professional move to release a single. And I'm just so focused on this album and just like touring the world and touring around the world and performing these songs live and on radio, and I think it's really fun.
Where do you have in mind? Where a couple tour spots do you have in mind?
Tour spots that I already toured in, or just in general?
In general, yeah, both. What were some fun places that you toured
I
in?
toured in California, and that was really fun. I did like a 2-week tour in Cali, in Hollywood, downtown LA, Malibu, some in Long Beach, Huntington.
And what were those shows like?
It was a pretty good turnout. I set the whole tour up myself because I was gonna be there for 2 weeks anyway. So I was like, you know what, I might as well just create a tour out of this and make it look like I'm something,
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
people will believe anything, as they are right now on the radio.
And what were those shows like? Did the venue, booking a venue, where did you perform?
I performed at like coffee shops. I performed at house shows. I performed on the street. I performed like at a little bar. Some music venues. I just been trying to get my name out there as much as possible. So I was just like trying to test the waters and see what fits best. And what I came to realize is that like the video shoots and the interviews and the radios, they have been such a blessing for me, because like playing a show is beautiful. I love playing shows and just like expressing everything in your heart out to the world and just like losing your mind. I love that. I also love recording music, and like right now this is all recorded, so I can't wait just to like listen back to it and learn from it. I love recording and then listening to it and then learning from that recording and then like doing better, and then just like watching my other interviews and seeing what I didn't do and what I could do on this one and what I lacked in this one and what I could be doing for the next interview. So I'm just excited for the next radio station and all these other radio stations and all these other shows and all these networks, and I'm truly honored and grateful to be here in the first place.
You said, thank you. It's been an honor and a pleasure for me and Dan and Nick back here,
Thank you guys.
Dan and Max back here, filming. So you said, you listen back on songs and you pick up on key things and everything like that. Do you when you listen back and you pick up on these things, do you just say, okay, I'm going to take this to the next song, or do you go back and re-record certain elements of a song?
Yeah, that's exactly. It's a good one. So I will record a song on my my phone. I will just start to do that first, and then I'll listen to that like 5 times, and then I start to branch off with that song. So I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, I could have said something right here, or oh, I could have went into this certain part. So it's just listening to my music and realizing, okay, does this work? Does this not work? Could I add something different? Should I leave this part out? It's just like going back and forth and checking in the dots, basically.
Okay. And out of this set list you're performing here, what would you say has been like your favorite what has needed the most work, what's been required to like go back and fix things that you know, all they could, each song can fit in any of those like categories, I guess.
So what song I really like to play the most on this album and live is probably Star Killer. Just because I think it's like a universal thing, you know, everyone falls in love, everyone falls out of love, everyone gets hurt in love or without love. Everyone is, or if it's not even a friend, if it's not even like someone you love, it could be a friend, you know, a friend that's dragging you down, a friend that doesn't believe in you, a friend that just like doesn't really care about you, or a family member that doesn't really care about you. So it's just those star killers, you know, those killers trying to kill you from being a star. And the most work on this album, I would say,
The most retooling, or you know, going back, we should fix that chord, or I should adjust, you know, the lyrics on the hook or something.
That's a good question. I think Lily Flower, because the production on the album is a lot different from how I play it live, and I personally like it how I play it live.
Okay.
I don't know. I just like. I'm more of a fan of just like playing these songs live than hearing it on an album, and that being the certain way that it needs to be like that. I'm not really that person that will play a song how it sounds on the album when you're listening to it on Spotify. I like to like change things up a little bit. If I'm playing the same Heart Attack song the whole time, it's gonna be so boring. So it's really nice to spice up the song, you know.
Okay. I think we've talked for quite a bit now. Are you ready for the 6th song on your set list?
I can play it for sure.
Yeah. What's it called?
We're gonna do that's a good one. We're going to do Lion Eyes.
Lion Eyes. Take it away.
My sweetheart sunshine, telling me goodbye. Lion eye, why my lion eye. Lion eye, ooh. Wake up, heartbreakers. Give me back my records. Takes so long to reply. You lion eye, why am I? Oh, lion eye, so tired of feeling down on the ground. Can't you see what you're doing to me? Don't let me down. Woo! Don't waste my love right now. Don't let me down. Don't waste my love right now. And I wanna dance next to you want me to. I wanna dance next to you if you want me to believe. To believe you. Can't you see? Oh, don't let me down. Woo! Don't waste my love right now. Don't let me down. Yeah. Don't let me be. And I wanna dance next to you if you want me to. I wanna dance next to you if you want me to believe.
Thank you again for performing that song. We're going to take a quick break. This might be our last one of the show, and then we'll talk more about that song. Probably have time to perform another song or two, and
Of course.
that'll be it. So that last song,
Yes.
Lion Eyes,
Yes, indeed.
where's that inspiration from?
Good one, mate. Good one. So, lion eyes. People tell me I have lion eyes, but when I wrote lion eyes, it's more of like a lying eyes, like lying.
Okay.
But I just named it lion eyes. So people, don't really think it's lying. But
Why is that?
it is about lying, and it's just when you fall in love with someone, and when you truly believe you can trust this person with all your heart and stuff, and deep down you're like blinded by it. You're blinded, and when you find out things later in life, you find out that they're lying and doing things around your back. And in the lyric it says, wake up heartbreakers. So basically, what I know, so many people that are like, in heartbreak, someone messes up. So in the lyric it says, wake up heartbreakers. Wake up. If you're in love, and if someone loves you, then don't treat them wrong. Don't disrespect them. If someone's in love with you, then don't take for granted. Be grateful that someone loves you. So it says, wake up heartbreakers, give me back my records. And I still have some records that need to be received.
Oh, wow, okay. All right.
Oh, man.
What, you have these albums, and we actually got a caller right now, so I'm going to hand the phone off to Brandon Mesén, and he's
Hello
going to
there.
take this question.
Hello, who is this? We got the President of the United States on the phone, guys.
Jeez.
Biggest fan. What up? What's up, Lily? Hi, how are you? Yes, I love you too. What is the question, miss? Okay, so she said, how can I or if I can describe love in 3 words, what would it be? Okay. Happiness, truth and abundance. That's what I think love is.
Well, can you go into detail as to why those three specifically? Or Lily still got another question?
Do you have another question? You don't want me to play any song? Okay, she wants me to play Lily Flower, so I'll play it.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that before the hour ends.
Alright, see ya.
Thank you for the question, Lily. Again, you can get your question in by calling in. So you mentioned those three words. Why those three words specifically?
Because without those three words, love is nothing.
Okay.
I already forget what the three words I said. What did I say? I said happiness, right?
Yes, truth.
Truth and abundance. Okay. So, love without truth, like, obviously, you can't love if you're not true. What's the point of loving in the first place if you're not truthful or not true? And if you're not happy, why would you even want to continue to be in love? Why would you hate the person you're with and be in love with them? It just doesn't make sense.
Absolutely, yeah.
Obviously, you need to be happy with the person that you love. It doesn't have to be with a person. Maybe just yourself, like love for yourself, like love, like happiness. Like when I think of love, I think of happiness, because it's a happy feeling. It's a universal feeling. It's a great feeling. Love, happiness, and you're not gonna lie in love. That's not true. You gotta love and truth and abundance, which can be whatever it is you can think it is. Abundance, just there's enough abundance in the world for everyone in the world, and our hearts are full of abundance, and love is so abundant, and you can't put a price tag to love.
Inspirational words there. So Lily, our previous caller, wanted to hear Lily Flower.
I wonder why is that song called Lily Flower?
I wonder why as well. We're going to get to it right now. We have about 9.5 minutes left in the hour. So, Lily Flower, here it is. Brandon Mesén live on the Sticey Hour. Take it away.
This one's for you, Lily. That's all I have to do to make you understand who I am. You're my sweetheart. You're my lonely star.
Another one right here on the Sticey Hour. That was Lily Flower again by Brandon Mesén. And I want to get to a few more questions before we head on out of here.
Perfect.
So 2020 feels like it just started yesterday. We still got a long time till the next year. What expectations would you put on yourself? What are you looking forward to the most? And what are your goals, ambitions, everything like that?
For 2020?
Absolutely, yeah. And if you want to even go beyond, that's cool too. But
Let's just stick to 2020 first.
yeah, sure.
So my goals and my ambitions for 2020, I really want to continue writing. I just want to continue writing the truth. I want to continue writing about how I'm feeling, because if I didn't have the right to write, I would be losing my mind. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for music. I wouldn't be here right now. Writing music really helps me with my problems, with my emotions. It really guides me into the right path. And I encourage everyone out there, whatever it is you guys like to do, whether it's play Xbox, write a song, go outside for a walk, eat some food, create some art, read a book, whatever it is, I encourage you guys to keep on doing that, because that's who you are, and that's what you love, and that's what makes you happy, and that's what makes you feel abundant. And I recommend you guys just keep striving within your heart, within your mind and your soul and your body. Just keep on digging and keep on growing, keep on grooving, keep on learning. And what I want to do for 2020 is just continue to be myself, continue to be truthful, continue to write, and spread this love and this happiness and this power. I want to continue touring the world. I really want to have a United States tour in 2020.
Okay.
A full world tour in 2020. That's my goal for 2020, is to have a nice world tour, USA tour for now. That's like my goal. I really want to do that with all my heart, and I would love to do that with my loved ones, friends, my lover. I'd love to do that. And I want to continue, going on to radio stations and playing. I want to continue just playing shows. I want to continue learning. I never want to stop learning. I feel like once you stop learning, there's nowhere to go. So many people are stuck in a rat race where they think they need to be doing something when do they really need to be doing something? I think they need to be focusing on themselves. I think they need to focus on their heart. I think they need to focus on their mental state. I think focusing on your mental state first before anything. Like, there's a reason why I haven't been touring yet. I did these little mini tours, but there's a reason why I didn't do a full-on 5-month tour. It's because I'm not emotionally stable. I need to work on myself, just like with everyone. I feel like once you're emotionally there, then I feel like it's necessary to tour the world. I don't want to tour the world and be emotionally unstable and have problems. I want to fight these problems like head on. I don't want to hide away from these problems. So many people are hiding and running away from the truth, and I just think it's wrong. I think you need to run directly into the problem and face it and knock it out and defeat it and win.
Awesome. Amazing. One final question. You've released a bunch of music to this point. If you could go back and tell your middle school self, your high school self, one thing, to, a piece of advice, moving forward, what would that be?
Feels good to be a weird kid. Woo!
That's it?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I guess we've got time for one more quick song, and then we'll get on out of here. So I'm going to sign off now. Thank you for tuning in to this 2-hour live special with Brandon Mesén Brandon, thank you for coming on.
Thank you,
spending
sir.
These 2 hours
It's
with
been
me.
a pleasure.
Yeah. So, what is this last song going to be?
The last one is called Sunshine After 9. Oh, vision scary when time passes through your eyes and you sunshine after 9. Oh, she's so lovely. Why can't I have you all to myself and you don't even mind? Oh, California, please come and take my heart with you. I'm mad that you don't see it too. I'm a wall to you, like everybody knew, like you. Like you, what am I gonna do? Would you like to say hello? Darling, don't you go. I'm a fool for laying low. You don't even know. No, you don't even know. You don't know. Feels good to be a weird kid, yeah. Feels good to be a weird kid. Woo! Woo-hoo. Feels good to be a weird kid, yeah. Yeah. Love you all, everybody. Thank you so much. Peace and love. Messing around out.
Don't touch that dial.
Awesome.
Woohoo! Hell yeah, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.